Easy picture of our air conditioning machines. You know, we've got about, not of that type, but this brand new type. We've got about 150, 160 aircon machines out there in New Zealand. And you know, we do a lot of air conditioning training. And the training starts like this. You're in your own garden, and you got your LPG bottle of your barbecue sitting on the barbecue table. And you open the tap. Now you see that white misty cone of gas coming out. Yeah, of course, don't do this while smoking. And then what happens with the color of that tap? You know, what happens with the metal of that tap? You know, that becomes very, very cold and icy. What happens if you now put an exhaust tube? Just go to your shelf, rip out of the shelf, rip a 2-inch exhaust tube, 5 meters long. What would happen if you shove an exhaust pipe on the tap of that barbecue bottle? It becomes cold, and then we go on, and before you know it, it's all book close training. Before you know it, you see in front of you in this room, you see an exhaust tube running around, going to the outside through that wall, and you see a little bit of, when it's getting really cold in this room, you see a little bit of mist coming out of that tube just right there, and then you know that it's not that you're supplying it with too much LPG. Okay, then we change the LPG for refrigerant, and then people go like, yeah, but then you kill the polar bears because you can't just release refrigerant in the atmosphere. I go like, well, those polar bears, whatever, but it's very expensive, and I'm Dutch, so you know it's better to recover that refrigerant. So we put outside there a big single-cylinder compressor, you know, an old ship engine with a piston that size. We take the valves out, we read valves in. And then we set up a cooler outside, a heat exchanger outside, and then it pushes it back into the bottle again for it to spray out again. Now that's how we start our air conditioning training. And then we explain a little bit about the state of the refrigerant, the temperatures inside those pipes, all in the minds of the technicians. And then we say, look, now's the first time that you're allowed to open your book, and now draw what you're seeing here. Draw an air conditioning system with what is the state of the gas, what temperature is it, and what pressure is it. Look at it right. And that's how you make experts. That is how you make people understand how it really works. And of course, then we're going to work on the rigs that we bring with us, and it becomes easy. And of course, part of that training is then, how do you stop disasters on high voltage heat pumps in electric vehicles? Or simple, high voltage aircon systems on Prius, you know, your hybrid vehicles, where you got a 400 volt compressor, you know, with bare exposed terminals inside the compressor. When you've just serviced a normal car with 134 AECS with PAG oil in here, which is conductive, which sticks on the inside of your red hose and your blue hose, and you now connect that to an electric vehicle, and that conductive oil gets washed into that electric aircon compressor. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? You get conductive oil in your high voltage compressor.
It's going to short out, isn't it?
You know what? That shorting out is nothing dramatic. There's nothing dramatic about it. You know what? The computer systems in all the vehicles that we've tested this on, you know, not with oil, but just with the resistors, they just simply open up the SMRs in the batteries. The SMRs are the big main contactors that connect your 400 or your 300 volts to the rest of the car. They just open up, and there's a fault code that says leak detected. That's not a leak like something is leaking away. No, it's an electric leak. There are electrons unaccounted for. The car just stops when you're doing it. Now we deal with that in training, in great detail. How do you measure that? How do you make sure that if you use that piece of equipment for a normal PAG oiled car to an EV car, how do you make sure, you know, how does the car deal, the machine deal with that oil changeover, that POE to PAG, or PAG back to POE oil again? Okay? All stuff that maybe all of you know already. I don't know, you guys. You know, you might have done this already in training years ago. I really don't know.